Quartararo, the World Championship leader, on the front row with Franco Morbidelli and Jack Miller. Bagnaia, Nakagami and Zarco go from row. Welcome back to MotoGP for the former Moto2 World Champion. He's replacing the injured Jorge Martin at Pramac Ducati. Quartararo trying to increase that 15-point lead he has in the World Championship.
Not a lot to split. Quartararo and Bagnaia.
Out here in Spain. Good start that from Fabio Quartararo and Morbidelli as well.
There's
Quartararo
Miller.
gets swallowed. It's gone wrong. Miller.
Jack Miller wanted then up into the lead. Morbidelli got second. Bagnaia also got through on Fabio Quartararo. So Quartararo from
Damian Mir is there as well. There is Maverick Vinales just ahead of Alex Rins.
terrible start for Johan Zarco. He's gone backwards. He was really
Miller as we head down the back straight towards turn 6 for the first time. It's Jack Miller who leads.
great start from
See there down into turn 6, but Marc Marquez has made up a bit of ground. He's up
Zarco
into
out wide
11.
in the Pedrosa corner, Steve. He was having a bit of a tussle there with Marquez.
The 63 just ahead of Fabio Quartararo. So far so good for him.
Well, Franco Morbidelli and Fabio Quartararo did get the goes on and on and on. A nightmare start for him.
Yeah, he looks pretty hurt there as well. Down into
Marquez,
Spain.
Steve, again at turn 13, it's Marquez and Zarco coming very, very close to each other. Those two are really beating each other up.
Everything looking pretty rosy. There is Aleix Espargaro further back then. This is all the drama going on with Zarco. Bradl's in there with
Trucci slip on through. So Rossi down in 19th place. Only Savadori, Marini and Rabat behind him.
the two Suzuki's then.
For Binder here in Jerez.
Oh, twitch there from the Ducati of Pecco Bagnaia. They're side by side. They're closing up on Morbidelli as well.
Just blitzes on by down to the Pedrosa corner in turn 6. Quartararo with the hard work to do all over again. All that
as he rejoins the race right at the very back. Podium chances have gone.
Easily done, Steve.
Jack Miller has done everything he wanted to do at the start of this one. Here comes Fabio Quartararo up the inside of Bagnaia into turn 3.
Quartararo's done to Bagnaia what Morbidelli's not yet been able to do to Jack Miller. In fact, Morbidelli's not really been close enough. Slip up the inside into turn 1. That was smart and savvy by Quartararo.
Rins has got through on Taka Nakagami, so the Suzuki
9 men back to Vinales. There's a second between Vinales and Zarco, who after that really early interesting
to me the back end of it when he eventually got out that he has got some speed. We don't think he had the pace to run with the Yamahas as Rins goes really...
For the word for it, pure and utter disaster for Alex Rins in terms of his championship charge. He buckled when he was hounding and harassing.
There's 3 gone down already here in the Spanish Grand Prix. There's Aleix Espargaro, that's fine, that'll do. 5th place for now.
He was committed there, he tried to save it, didn't he, but gravity just took over.
Here comes Quartararo up the inside of Franco.
And Aleix Espargaro, the brink of the podium early on here in a ref, brilliant by Aleix Espargaro.
Quartararo then now eyes Jack Miller for the race lead.
How many times we keep saying it, Rins throwing away yet another golden chance with a crash. He did it in Assen.
Around turn 5 we go. We just saw there Marc Marquez, he's still in 14th place. Quartararo though, he's closing up on the tail here of
group involving Pol Espargaro, Bradl and Marc Marquez, those trio of Hondas that were really all over him. He's been able to pull away and he's now quicker than your race leaders.
Joan Mir might need to find a way through on Nakagami shortly because Fabio Quartararo is closing.
Miller will know that as well. Here Quartararo, look at the corner speed, he carried through 12. Absolutely brilliant. Superb. That was all set up through Quartararo leads.
Here comes Miller though, with the power of the Ducati, but he's not strong enough on the brakes to get through. Now, there's big question.
Spanish Grand Prix and Andalusia Grand Prix last year, nobody saw which way Quartararo went. Already, he's been able to put what? Face as long as a wet Sunday, unfortunately for him. Turn 8 caught him out on the very first lap.
What happened to him then further?
Quartararo's nearly 4/10 clear of Jack Miller, and that's only going to get bigger now. Mir's wide, well wide. Lap of the race, 38.114. We saw one of those aero wings snap off when he hit the deck. It's not affecting his pace, but 3 and 4 where the Yamaha just comes into its own. It'll stretch its legs. Miller just has not got the corner speed. The Ducati's been not weak, but no, he just cannot match it. Simple as that.
No, and that's why Joan Mir here was desperate to get past Nakagami. He can see that the picture in the landscape
just pushed into that area, because you're right, you could see Quartararo moving away at the front.
A 37.7 is an outright lap record.
Get to the front early on, clear track, daylight ahead of you, head down, hammer down, off you go, and straight away half a second
for Aprilia in MotoGP. Bagnaia is in 5th ahead of Nakagami and Mir. Further down the order, Pol Espargaro right now.
Where's he programming his brain? Quartararo was a little bit scrappy coming out of turn 7. Got to be careful with the exceeding track limits. Fraps knows at the back of his mind there's nothing he will have for Fabio Quartararo.
Well, in the past, Jack Miller has bitten off more than he can chew, but at the back end of season, he would take a podium all day long.
It's not even close, is it, right now? On that last lap, Fabio Quartararo was the only man in the 30. Miller, to his credit, to his enormous credit, under the pressure that he's under, he said he's in the trenches. Well, he's digging himself out of it big time right now.
He's moved up ahead of Stefan Bradl as he chases the top 10. Just a couple of places behind these guys. Bastianini is coming through. He's up.
Yeah, Rossi's 17th, but that's only because the likes of Rins and Binder and Alex Marquez have dumped it in front of him. So nothing was on the factory KTM so far this year. Alexis Spargo just in a little bit hot, trying to nick a bit of time back on the brakes, another sector
where he's losing the time, but he is trying to keep his claws stuck into Quartararo. He's not letting him
gap to Franco Morbidelli, who in turns about 3 or 4 tenths clear of Aleix Spargo. Zarco is about to start attacking.
Are on board with. That's Aleix Spargo. Now Aleix Spargo will be bargaining that maybe the likes of
Morbidelli's digging deep as well. A 37.993 is a PB lap from the Italian third place. The only 3 men in the...
Just behind these guys, Taka Nakagami. Now, Nakagami in 2020 trim, midway through races, started to come into his own.
He's right on the case of his teammate Pol Espargaro in 10th place.
Breaking into turn 6, Bagnaia trying to find...
MotoGP on a dime at the moment. Pinpoint accuracy going into turn 6 from Aleix Spargo. It has to be, because Bagnaia...
Miller is having to ride beyond himself here just to keep it at that. You wonder how much tyre he's using just to do that. As Marc Marquez here, on board here with Pecco Bagnaia. He's using the speed of his Ducati to get alongside Aleix Spargo, and that will be so frustrating for the Aprilia rider, isn't it?
And coming in the not too distant future in terms of third place for Pecco Bagnaia. He's got a long way
up into 10th ahead of teammate Pol Espargaro.
Yeah, 38.4, Steve. That's brilliant speed. That's only 3.
Around these fast right-handers here at Jerez. Spectacular speed through turns 11 and now 12 up towards turn 13. Bagnaia not track on that, but for now we'll keep our eyes on this one. Bagnaia just cannot get on terms on the exit of the corner. So far,
more with that fourth sector where he can use that agility and the corner speed of the Yamaha. Nobody stronger all weekend than Morbidelli in that fourth split.
Actually, I've just put in their personal best laps of the race. They're now down into the low 138s.
Ending with the threat being posed by Taka Nakagami. Brad Binder's dreadful day just gets even worse. It was turn 13, he's entered the pits as well. Is that game over for Binder today, or is he going to get back on and try and salvage something for what's been a very... That turn 13 spill he's just had was slightly more tame and sedate than one he had there last year, because that was a monster. The first corner and then high side, didn't he? I'm not sure if he did, maybe he did.
He went straight on, didn't he, into turn 5 in the first race,
and then in the second one he'd already hit Oliveira, so no obvious damage. But after a big crash yesterday at turn 5, 3 crashes this weekend for Brad Binder.
Down the man that we're on board with, Franco Morbidelli, out front. I mean, to his enormous credit, Jack Miller is only lapping in the last lap. Came on strong in the first 3 races. Nakagami's right tucked up behind him as well. At the moment, an answer to Franco Morbidelli, and of course Jack Miller. What's happened here at the front is, has Quartararo made a mistake? He must have done.
It has.
Something's gone wrong here for Quartararo. He's 7 tenths now across the line.
That's all come there. Morbidelli had a moment on the front end in the middle.
Thing horrendously wrong for Fabio Quartararo here.
Yeah, I mean, Miller out of nowhere just found 7 tenths of a second. What's happened then? Morbidelli lost all of his exit speed, and that allowed Bagnaia to come on through.
Confusing.
Remember, it was a couple of years as he was cruelly denied a maiden MotoGP podium.
Well, it would be cruel again if it was something mechanical, because there's something wrong taking the lead. It's just a matter of time. What has happened here?
Miller thinks it's Christmas Day. All of his Christmas have come at once here.
And he's got it done. And he's leading the Grand Prix.
He's got it done. Fabio fading, or is it to save time? It doesn't happen.
A 39.2.
Yeah, what is going on underneath Fabio Quartararo?
There'll be some nervous faces.
Has gone in really hot into turn number 5. Jack Miller has never won a dry MotoGP.
Well, though, from Jack, he's not one for Ducati, of course, either. And after everything that's happened in the last few weeks.
Sorry, Steve, I really don't. I have no idea. All I know is I can't believe how good is Jack riding it.
Couldn't agree more, Simon. And when you take into account as well the pressure that's been building on that man.
This is interesting.
Yeah, Bagnaia has broken the resistance of Franco Morbidelli after passing him a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, something's definitely not right with the Yamaha of Fabio Quartararo. I mean, it can't be tyres. The tyre.
We don't know. Oh, and he's wide there as well.
It's not the first time he's done that either. Wow. Well, this is about to make light work of this. He can't even believe how quick he is. Look, here he goes.
Fabio
Straight
Quartararo
through.
is not racing at this point.
No. That's Rome, which is cruel, cruel luck. By the way, the fastest man on circuit, Marc Marquez. This isn't a drop.
No.
I mean, this is plummeting off a cliff.
This really is like freebasing, isn't it?
I mean, Watty so down in the dumps, but he said he was going to dig deep. He's dug deep before, and now we see straight through for Morbidelli.
That's where they're getting him. You know, was it Aragon? Yeah, that they overheated the front tyre. Basically, not to be the problem here.
He's not going to be in the top 10. Thanks again, Simon. The way he's going, he's not got a chance of even...
Do you know what? This is not over, Matt, at the front either. Jack Miller's got a 2-second buffer at the moment with 7 laps to go. Surely
he's just a passenger. Nothing he can do.
you have to feel for him, don't you? You just have
Nakagami,
to
look at
feel
that,
for him.
attacking the Lake Spargo.
Nakagami, take a bow.
Bit of Pufuera around the outside, Lorenzo style, into turn 5, and he goes straight
Deep there was Nakagami, and Mir has picked off Aleix Espargaro as well. He was caught napping there. Mir now will just fly
on the cards. He's potentially losing the World Championship lead here as well.
Unbelievable.
Can you believe how quickly...
Here to find out that the MotoGP script sometimes does not quite go
this
to
one
full.
will really
Well, Marquez is doing so well out there.
Well,
so well.
About 10 minutes ago I would have lost my house because I'd have put my mortgage on Fabio's shoulder from Quartararo. Gets a face full of a Pramac Ducati and a Repsol Honda.
Half a second quicker.
Yeah, as soon as Nakagami got that clear track, Zarco just easily eases on through. Quartararo fans, Marc Marquez.
Well, he won't believe it, will he?
Well, a drop back to the extent that Fabio Quartararo has. I mean, at the moment, the guy is doing...
Quartararo, you really do. It's unfair. It is unfair. We'll find out and pick the bones out of it later. It doesn't look like he'll score any points. And Miller, as he crosses the line, is going to be 5 laps away from his first ever MotoGP dry race win. Now, Matt, we are...
All the pressure, all the criticism he's taken over the first 3 Grand Prix of the season. A couple of 9th places, very underwhelming. For a team like Ducati, you have to deliver. No excuses. Nobody knows that more than Jack Miller. And today, it could be the day.
This is how it looks at the moment. I mean, that's going to go.
What do we say? Quartararo will be in the 41s very quickly. That's exactly where he is, right? 3 seconds. Incredible.
This man here, Pecco Bagnaia, will inherit the World Championship lead if Quartararo Ducati on for an unheard of 1-2 in Jerez, of all places.
Quartararo in absolute freefall. Deary me. And there's the championship. Look at that live championship now. It could get worse for Quartararo, not the Yamaha rider Quartararo. Can Morbidelli work away through on Pecco Bagnaia, but Quartararo is not going to be able to defend. 4 to go for the Australian.
And still, Taka Nakagami and Morbidelli a half a second from Townsville. Just 4 laps away from what would be such an emotion.
The schooner's ready because your son is about to set the world on fire here in Spain.
It's not over though.
It's come down to under a second.
It's going to be a nervous last lap. A really nervous last lap.
It should be. A rider.
What a tale this would be for Jack Miller.
Crikey, when was the last time Ducati had a 1-2? Probably not.
7.2 in the last sector as Jack Miller, and as we rounds turn 13, he's got 4.4 kilometres left.
Thriller Miller, and it's been a thriller here in Jerez. Can you believe it? They're all so nervous down in that side of the factory to flash here in Jerez.
He was brought in along with Pecco Bagnaia to take victories. You have to when you're a factory rider. It's been a long... I can't believe how calm he looks. But it's just half a lap left now for Miller. Number 43. What a ride.
I've got to be honest, Matt. Deep into the night there on Sunday evening.
I'm getting quite emotional myself in the box here because we all know how
now just 3 corners between Jack Miller and the moment of his Grand Prix career. He's on course to become Australia's left. Between this and victory. Forget about Bagnaia's live heart rate. What about Jack Miller's? What about the Miller family?
The Aussie! He's done it! Miller wins in the MotoGP race here in Jerez, and it's a declaration anthem ready, and get the beers out. What a day for Jack. Further back, Nakagami takes 4 ahead of start.
What did happen to Fabio Quartararo? He finished 13th. We'll digest that one later. Take nothing away though
from not seeing a more popular rider in the paddock. You'll see everybody pulling out of their garages to congratulate this dude. Yesterday in FP4 he showed that maybe he could nibble away at a podium, maybe. This guy you've got to feel so sorry for.
What happened to the package underneath him? huge question marks. He's lost what looked like a certain race win. A dream day in Spain for the Factory Ducati team. Their first win here in 15 years.
There you go. Look, get your shoey out. We're going to see one of the finest celebrations. It's
Apparently
such a shame.
Crack open another couple of coldies, I think. Let's go down the pit lane. Simon Crafer, I'm sure, is with an ecstatic Gigi Dall'Igna.
Jack Miller, everyone peeling out. There's Sam Lowes. They're good buddies as well. Alex Lowes as well.
Such Miller's career. Saved his career. Gave him that Moto3 ride
Remy
back
Gardner,
in 2014.
Fellow Aussie going over to congratulate him as well. Fabio Quartararo.
This, we've seen these scenes before in Jerez, haven't we? It either goes brilliantly right for Fabio.
Will be tears.
He's going.
Yeah, you could try and stop him if you want. But yeah, I'm sorry.
They can't believe it. They cannot believe it. Absolutely brilliant scenes. That's what it means. There's been this build-up of Ducati's MotoGP history back in 2003. This man gave his all and he got the reward as well. Huge cheer as the celebrations start for a very, very popular Spanish Grand Prix race-winning trophy to Jack Miller. He is the Wizard of Oz here in Jerez.
Say, ladies and gentlemen.